Should we move on to
Yeah.
what was actually the game of the night?
Yeah.
Villanova Providence. This is the biggest game. All the pregame chatter, the pregame buzz, a lot of boots on the ground. Big J college basketball journalists at this game because it's in the Northeast, and you know all the people in their Northeast bubble that can't stay up to watch Gonzaga and Arizona. This was like their Super Bowl. This was the old Big East is back. A top 10 tilt. It's a top 10 tilt.
They love
at
that.
the dog. Top 10 tilt. Love top 10 tilts.
Yes.
I heard many people say that this is the biggest game in Dunkin' Donuts Center history.
I think so.
I think it was.
I
think like because Providence lost doesn't take away from like what the stakes were going in, which was that Providence in the loss column. Now Providence has missed a lot of games because of COVID or what have you. Whatever.
Yeah.
These are the times we live in. So I don't know I don't know what the algorithm said, how many games ahead of Nova they were in the standings, but they were 2 games ahead in the loss column. They had 1 loss in Big East play. Villanova had 3. Providence has never won a regular season Big East title ever, which is kind of noteworthy because they were not only a founding member of the Big East, they were literally the founding member. Dave Gavitt started the whole Big East. He was the AD of Providence. So this would be a big deal. You know, I know it's not the same. It's not the old Big East, but it's the Big East.
Got old Big East vibe.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the implication is if Providence wins tonight, they've all but secured it.
Yeah.
It's right there. Mm-hmm. It's right there for the taking. And as is tradition in the Big East Conference, anytime a team has Villanova coming in a must-win game to put the final, the final dagger into Villanova, Villanova wins because that's how it works every single time. Every single time.
Literally.
Even when it doesn't, it still somehow works that way.
And we used to joke about Kansas like this in the Big 12, where it was like every single year. We even, I think one year called it the Kansas Conference because we were just like, this is their world. And that's how Villanova's been on the Big East. But this year, we saw a sliver of hope. You know what I mean? And Providence has the luck of the Irish, the luck of the Friars.
The
fortune of the Friars. I don't know what
someone said it was the Friarish. I like that. Someone tweeted us. It was like, it's the luck of the Friarish.
I like the Friarish. So the Friarish have just been cooking. You know what I mean? And it feels like anytime that the shot clock is winding down, they can take the most insane shot you've ever seen that looks like something
this is
out of Patrick Ewing's like, never do this, have you ever shot that shot handbook. And somehow it swishes and goes in. But not tonight.
Not tonight. This was the problem. The point we were making about Auburn, as Auburn was having all those close wins, was that at a certain point you start to feel yourself a little too much, and you start to think there is like some sort of divinity at play here, and there is some sort of providence at play, which is kind of what happened tonight. There were a lot of
that was a top 10 tilt line right there.
Top 10 tilt. Top 10. A lot of late shot clock possessions where Providence is like, we're good, man. We're good. We've been here before.
Jacket.
I'm gonna just jack it.
I'm going to step to my right. I'm going to fade out. I'm going to jack it. And it's going to swish.
I mean, Al Durham, some of those shots he's hitting down the stretch, like the right-handed one over the backboard that hit the rim 5 times.
The ball slipped out of his hand. And then
he's left-handed. He's wrong hand over the backboard. I was like, what? It goes in, which is like obviously good, but it's almost worse because like every time one of those shots goes in, like a more insane attempt is coming.
Yeah.
And Providence has just gotten to that point because they keep winning. They keep being rewarded by, frankly, like, and I say this lovingly to Providence fans, like I don't really feel like Providence is good at anything. Like the only thing they're good at is like seizing the chaos at the end of the games and making the plays late to win games, which, obviously ultimately that matters most. You play to win the game. That's what Herm Edwards told us. So I guess that's probably all that matters.
Yeah.
But when you watch them play, you're not like, oh man, this is a great passing team. This is a great, screening team. This is a great defensive team. They're throwing every defense they can think of out there. None of them are really working.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what led to this point. And at a certain point, you come up against a good team in Villanova. And I have not been high on Villanova. Tate, I make no bones about this. This is not a secret. I do not like this Villanova team that much. They are a good basketball team. They're maybe a very good basketball team. They're just not like a Villanova. I'm sure Villanova is going to be ranked like 6th or 7th in the next AP poll. They're not that good. I still don't think they're that good. But they are a very good team. They earned it tonight, and you can tell like the demeanor of both teams. One of these teams has run this conference for years, and the other team was like kind of happy to be here. And it was like, this is kind of cool that like we sold our place out and it's bonkers and all this. And Villanova's like, this is just another Tuesday to us. Everywhere we go, this is how we get treated. We're not intimidated by this.
And Jay Wright said this was the best Providence team that he's ever faced under Ed Cooley. I'm not sure that translates to the most talented team.
It's the best record.
Yeah,
it's the best record that Providence.
It's the best, but it's not the most talented. I mean, we were talking earlier like Chris Dunn, Ben Bentel, some of those teams that they had.
Rodney Bullock team.
Yeah, some of those teams maybe more talented, but for whatever reason, this team has found some sort of cohesiveness, and they almost play the game of basketball like it's a fight. And I say that in a sense like they are just trying to survive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then somehow it gets to the end, and it's like if we got a chance, we're gonna win this game. And then what was the stat? They were 9-0 in games decided by 5 points or less until this game, obviously. So
they should have let Villanova score. They lost by 5. They should have lost by 6.
Yeah, so stay 9-0, stay perfect. But
I'm sure the new stat's gonna be 4 points or less.
Yeah,
they're 9-0 in games decided.
Move the goalposts and make it sound good. That's how it works in stats. But I do think that this Providence team, at a certain level tonight, they were down for the fight. They kept swinging. It was good to see. But also, Colin Gillespie, I mean, when he scores,
awesome.
If he scores 33 points, what are you going to do?
Justin Moore led.
Maybe don't let him go left and shoot every time.
Into a pull-up jump shot. My God. Justin Moore dominated the first half. Colin Gillespie dominated the second half.
Which is the recipe for Villanova. I mean, they're a 6-man rotation, really.
The reason I want to explain further, because this is a good opportunity. If I'm going to keep saying I don't like the Villanova team after they're probably their biggest win of the season, I feel like I should probably explain myself. I just kind of don't love watching their offense, and I know I've said that to you many times, Tate, but I just like they're tough sons of bitches. I will give them credit that they play good defense. They can lock up when they want to. But there's just like something about like watching Colin Gillespie back dudes down, and then Justin Moore.
Yeah, he plays like center now,
and then like double pump up and under and get fouled for an and one, and then flex at the camera, and you're like, listen, it technically works. It's like it's probably efficient. It's all of these things are probably true. I understand that I'm the outlier here. I don't like watching it. I just don't like watching.
I'm not having a good time.
I'm not having a good time watching Villanova this year, and I miss the days when Villanova was actually fun to watch, and I feel like they're just kind of they play bully ball, and I don't know. I don't like the brand of basketball. That's the concern. I'm like they're gonna win games. I don't necessarily trust that they're gonna go deep in the tournament. Maybe I'll be proven wrong, but just like the brand of basketball they're throwing out there right now, it's not aesthetically pleasing to my eyes.
Yeah.
So that's all.
It's like if you were watching a spread coach, like a Dana Holgerson or a Mike Gundy, and all they do is run the ball in I formation for 3 yards.
Yes.
And you're like, what is happening here? Like,
and then they win the game 17-13, and they're like, how do you not like this? We won.
We're winning. And you're like, I get it.
And I say this as a guy that loved Virginia basketball. Like when Virginia's rolling, I love the style of play with Bennett ball. It's just the Virginia, when they would score, when they would win games scoring 43 points, they would they were still like moving the ball and like getting good shot. Like Villanova, they have like 9 assists tonight.
9 team assists.
They're averaging.
Providence also had 9 team assists, but again, this is a lot of let's wait for the shot clock to go
exactly. That's it. Like Villanova, when I think Villanova basketball, I think about that ball humming around and like they're driving and kicking and a bunch of playmakers and everything. And this year it's just like back dudes down, maybe draw a double and kick it out. And if you don't draw a double, then like.
And it's such a short rotation of guys. You know what I mean? It does feel like it's fatiguing.
Yeah,
I think that's.
But credit to them, man. They won. It was a tough atmosphere, and they proved why they're if you are doing national title contenders, and we've had this conversation a few times about like certain conferences, like who are the true contenders in each conference. I still don't know if Nova's like actually a national title contender, but if you're making a case for a team in the Big East, it's Villanova. Villanova is the only one that even has a case, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, Providence has had a great year and will continue to win games. It might still win the Big East, but you'd be hard pressed to find anyone outside the state of Rhode Island that has Providence going all the way in their bracket. Right?
I think if you're Providence right now, you really just want to win the Big East regular season and make sure that you stay a top 3, top 4 seed.
Yeah,
like don't let it get away from you where you fall into 5 range.
You're the 6, you're 6-7 line out of
because that changes everything. But if you can stay in the top half and kind of just try to sustain as much as you can, you'll be fine. No matter what happens in the Big East tournament, because last year we already saw that crazy things are going to happen with Georgetown winning last year. So I don't even care about the Big East tournament. Just win the regular season. We need that. Show. We said this year Villanova was going to finish in second.
I said Xavier was going to be
and I said Seton Hall, which, COVID card. I'm pulling my COVID card.
Okay.
But someone has to be number one while Villanova is number two. And right now, Providence is the team. So we're kind of pulling for Providence.
Well, dude, I would love it with Providence. That'd be cool. I mean, especially you get these atmospheres like you had tonight.
The dunk.
The students are, but like the whole, they're. It feels like Auburn has seized the moment of just like we're living in this moment of like unprecedented success, and not to say that Providence isn't a great basketball program, it is, but they've literally never won the Big East, and now all of a sudden they might, and like you feel the moment in the arena and stuff. That would be cool to see that come to fruition, and not just like have everyone walk out of the arena with their heads hanging and their empty beer cans. Dude, they have tall boys. Every single student.
I don't know where they sell them, but I respect everything that's happening at the dunk. And also, we heard in the broadcast, Ed Cooley, according to the Big East experts, Coach of the Year. National Coach of the Year. That's what
National Coach of the Year.
That's what they were saying during the broadcast.
Did Tommy Lloyd get fired? What happened? Did I miss it? Did Tommy Lloyd punch a student or something?
I think Tommy Lloyd has shown us just how bad of a coach Sean Miller is, which I think should then catapult him up to be the Coach of the Year. But Ed Cooley's in the conversation. And it was the first time
he's in the conversation insofar as we should say that Ed Cooley is not going to win Coach of the Year because it's going to Tommy Lloyd. Is that what you mean?
Big East Coach of the Year.
Big East Coach of the Year. Yes, Ed Cooley.
There you go.
100%.
Yeah.
National Coach of the Year.
In the conversation.
Because
that's what everyone wants. Everyone just wants to be in the conversation. I learned that in the NBA. That's how they do with the MVP. They're like DeMar DeRozan. Not going to win it. No chance. Should be in the conversation.
In the conversation. You just want to be invited to New York for the Heisman ceremony.
Exactly.
And you're not going to win.
Just invite me.
I just want to be invited. That's all I want.
I'll be Manti Te'o there.
Hey there. Thanks for watching Titus and Tate. For the full friend of the program experience, subscribe right below and come join us for all things college basketball. The action is heating up. Come join Titus and Tate.